you think?
I would say so.
You would say so. Well, enjoy your flight. Well, now we're at the baggage terminal where passengers come in, they pick up their baggage, and they're able to go home, except for this lonely little bag that's left here. Today we've talked about economic development, we've talked about security issues, and you've seen a new hangar. And if there's any questions that you have when you see this show, just give me a call. I'm State Senator Lisa Boscola. Or if you'd like to preview something or come on a show that I do every month, please let me know. Thank you.
People with disabilities may request a transcript of this program by calling area code 717-787-5166. The TTY number is 1-800-364-1581.
You're going to have to leave your couch sometime, but not now. With RCN's pay-per-view, you can watch a new hit movie, go ringside for the big fight, or front row center for the hottest concerts, all from the comfort of your couch. Here's how. Press Menu on your remote to start at the TV Guide Interactive main menu. Select from the pay-per-view options in the middle column. Press the up or down arrow to highlight your selection. Press OK to select the title. Press the right or left arrow to select the time you want and see it and press OK. Then highlight Yes to confirm and press OK to finish. That's it. For about the price of a rental, you can have pay-per-view in your home. And there's nothing to rewind or return and no late fees. So order something fun and get comfortable with pay-per-view. RCN. To learn more, check out the RCN Customer Handbook or go to rcn.com.
Call 1-800-RING-RCN for the best in phone, cable, and high-speed internet.
In his first year at the helm at Northampton, Tico Johnson has transformed the K-Kids from a 2-10 team in 2002 to one of the hottest teams entering District 11 play. They finished their regular season winning 4 of their last 5 contests. The only loss came at the hands of tonight's opponent, Easton. The Red Rovers plowed through the Lehigh Valley Conference schedule with a sterling 7-0 record. Last week, Steve Schiffert's defense pitched their second consecutive shutout with a 24-0 win. It's District 11 4A semifinal football. Easton, Northampton on RCN 4. Next. From Cottingham Stadium in Easton, Pennsylvania, RCN 4 Sports presents live coverage of the District 11 Class 4A semifinal football game. Tonight's matchup features the Northampton Concrete Kids. They come in 7-3 overall as they'll take on the Easton Red Rovers. They are the number 1 seed at 8-1. Northampton coached by Tico Johnson, and Easton is coached by Steve Schiffert. Hello, everybody. Gary Laubach, Dick Tracy, Paul Plattenberg doing our spotting tonight, and Brian Ludroff will be handling some of our numbers for us this evening as we welcome you on a beautiful night for football, a real contrast to the last time Northampton and Easton played here. I wasn't here, but Dick, you were.
And it was miserable, Gary. It was miserable. The weather elements were not there. Easton jumps out to the lead, scored a couple rather easily, and I don't know, what set in, was the weather or what it was, but Northampton playing catch up, and it's down to one touchdown with a few seconds remaining. Good comeback by Northampton. Easton playing without two of their stellar performers that night, Millen out, Goulburn out. Both teams at full tilt tonight, and I tell you, you expect to see some smash mouth, and you expect to see some wide open football.
Absolutely, Dick. Brad Pipparata, of course, is one of those smash mouth guys. He comes in with over 1,000 yards, 1132, and Northampton has a guy who will attain 1,000 yards rushing tonight in Jeff Pammer, who comes in with 990 yards, and he is a can-do-everything type guy, along with Opplinger and Mushko, and then throwing the ball to Haight, Crow, or Gabrilik. They really have themselves some terrific offensive players. Carlson, he has certainly thrown the ball around nicely, completing almost 50% of his passes. As Dick said, Goulburn is back at full strength. He did not play in the Northampton game. And Easton, Dick, when you look at them, you have to talk about their defense. They haven't given up a touchdown in 8 quarters.
Yeah, that could be the difference tonight, Gary. You're talking about what, 10.4 coming in, the lowest in the Lehigh Valley Conference. And I'll tell you, that's the way they play deep. They have that solid line that frees the linebackers, who are sensational, and their secondary is playing so well with Baltz back there on his comeback trail.
Northampton is a bit of a stranger to district playoff action. They've only been in districts once. That was in 1989, and they lost to Whitehall that night by an 8-6 score. Easton, on the other hand, has been around quite a while as far as district playoffs are concerned. They are actually into their 14th game since '78. They have 3 titles in 90, 91, and 93. They have finished second, 87, 88, 99, 2000, and 2001, and 3 times they have lost in the semifinals. And Dick, you and I have been around this game a long time. We've seen plenty of District 11 semifinal football games. We have seen a heck of a lot more upsets in the semifinals than we've had in the finals.
Yeah, many times you're seeing it's like the American and National League, playing for their divisional spots. It's sometimes a lot more exciting than the finals themselves. This could be a very exciting football game. I'm not sure if it'll be close. I'm not sure it'll be 1 point, but it certainly could be exciting because Northampton, with their skilled position people, has enough in their arsenal to play the open type. I mean, they are a threat for the big play. Easton, on the other hand, we saw Carlson come out with a 50-yard draw on the first play of the game. So Stevie has opened up a little bit with his passing game. And I'll tell you, it is going to be an interesting football game.
They have already tossed the coin. This is just a symbolic toss that you'll be looking at. Easton won that toss and deferred, so Northampton will go on offense. Interestingly enough, 2 weeks from today or tomorrow, one of these 2 teams may very well find themselves in the inner districts. Of course, Parkland East Stroudsburg South going at it tonight. We'll have that ball game for you at 9:30. But when you look at the District 3 competition, Cumberland Valley at 10-0 will take on Harrisburg this weekend at 8-2. Lancaster McCaskey at 9-1 taking on Reading at 9-1. So those are some outstanding records. And of course, both of these teams have Thanksgiving Day games as you get a look at referee Mike Sechrist.
Yeah, you're talking about a little trip with Peaburg coming up, which is an awfully big one. And of course, the Northampton Caddy Traditional at Northampton this year.
All right, let's take a look at the officials for tonight's big ball game. The referee is Mike Sechrist. The umpire is Barry Schaefer. The line judge is George McIntyre. The head linesman, Mike Matejka. The back judge is Mark Egger. The field judge is Robert Merwine. And the side judge is Robert Rennick. And Dick, the conversation with people tonight has been about whether or not we're going to see another shootout like we saw here a few weeks ago. Yeah, and everybody says no, but my thinking is, well, this is a much better night to put up an offensive number than it was when you had them.
And that was the one thing that both coaches, even Tico Johnson, Gary, you know how he is before a game, and he was saying, I don't know how I am because I don't know what to expect. Stevie Schiffert, of course, he lasted long about going into the, potential, what they can do with the football. So, yeah, you're liable to see that wide open, take them up type.
And the other thing, of course, to look out for has to be Brendan Pickle. What a weapon he has been for Easton. He is 6 for 9 in field goals with a 40-yarder to his credit. 30 for 32 in extra points. So he is certainly a guy that if it would come down to crunch time, you would not mind putting him out on the field to perhaps win the football game. It will be Northampton who will receive the kickoff. And that means that we will send back number 33, Jeff Pammer, and also number 30, John Opplinger. They have been the do-everything guys all year long, although now I see that number 12, Billy Haight, is back there, along with Pammer and not Opplinger. And teeing it up will be Brendan Pickle. Pickle is a senior, 6'2", 190 pounds. And Dick, we have a great crowd on hand here tonight for this ball game.
Yeah, and I think the weather has a lot to do with it, Gary. It is football weather. I mean, real crisp, and the people just enjoying this, and you could come close to packing this place.
And two good football towns. One of them traditionally has been a great draw. The other one just loving their football team this year. It will come down to Billy Haight at about the 3-yard line, and Haight is going to get nailed immediately at about the 17.
Never got to the wedge. Wedge was stationed up at about the 25, and the coverage for Easton so good coming down that they got him before he was able to hit that wedge.
Lornoy and Benak are there to make the tackle. It'll be Northampton football, 1st and 10. At quarterback, Craig Mushko, 77 for 150, 3 interceptions, 12-21. Great numbers until you look at his numbers last year when he had 1,700 yards. He's got 15 touchdown passes and completes 51% of those passes. They'll start from the 17-yard line. 1st and 10, our first play from scrimmage. From the gun, Mushko pops it out there, intended for Pammer, and the pass goes incomplete.
And he'll be looking at a 44 defense for the Rovers. They love that 4 linebacker set, and they're going to take the outside linebackers and put them just a little bit wider to try and compensate. We see the backs, the receivers for Northampton. John Opplinger, Jeff Pammer, they'd be most of the running. Billy Haight, number 12, great yards per catch average. Eddie Crow, a 6'5" target, and Chris Gabrilik, hey, had a touchdown last week.
And the starting lineups are brought to you by Apgar Oil Company, serving the Lehigh Valley for well over 50 years. 2nd and 10 from the 17. Turn around and hand the ball off, and oh my, Easton is there to put the smack down, as leading it is Mike Apgar as he hit Opplinger.
You will be seeing an awful lot of 77 Mike Apgar playing so well. And of course, Gruller on the other end, number 70. The offensive line, a real pleasant surprise for the kids. Martin, 66, Morano, 62. Justin Opplinger, a sophomore, 51 in the center. And on the right side for Northampton, John Mann, Dan Schaefer.
3rd and 10. Northampton certainly doesn't want to punt this deep in their own territory. Fire it out here, intended for Crow. And Northampton's going to go 1, 2, 3 and out. And Dick, Easton is almost guaranteed. Good field position, coverage by Todd Kresge.
Yeah, and a real plus for Easton on the punt situation, Gary, has been Josh Baltz. Easton will probably show 9 or 10 men up, and Baltz is back there very, very sure-handed.
Hammer is the punter. He will punt it away as Easton will drop back. Josh Baltz, number 2, and he is dangerous. And it's almost blocked. We're going to get a penalty flag. Bad play by the Rovers. And we'll try to pick up that number for you as this is all going to come back. This is going to be a 1st down for Northampton. As Dick, it looks like 88, John Suazo ran right into the kicker.
Yeah, they go for the block, come up short when he leaps in the air. And of course, you cannot control your body. That's when the bump occurs. And that's where the first Red Rover mistake of the evening occurs.
That is just a bad play. Easton would have had great field position at the Northampton 35-yard line. And I don't know if Suazo might have been blocked into the punter, but he certainly ran into him.
Might have come too high, Gary, on his rush. And you land down, of course, you can't stop immediately.
Oh, they're not going to call that they're not going to call that a personal foul. That's only going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Same situation.
So they only get 5 on the penalty, and they'll have to punt it away again. So Easton gets a break.
And they're backing off this time.
Hammer, it's away from ball. And boy, Dick, Easton is going to gain, or Northampton's going to gain about 20 yards because of that penalty.
Yeah, so take off the 5 yards they got on the penalty and pick up 20 or so on the punt return. Kicking it away from the wall that Easton had formed, which was for their near sideline.
34-yard punt. Easton will put it in play 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. Easton band right down in front of us. They play all the time. They've got a great sound, but it is not the easiest place to do a football game. At quarterback, Luke Carlson, 47 for 95, 3 interceptions, 907 yards. They fake the reverse. Coming with the football is Brad Pipparata. And Pitt's going to get knocked out of bounds at midfield, right at the 50-yard line, a gain of 6. Tyler Longley is there to make the tackle.
That was a real good job, Gary. Get away from that rush. Here is the Easton backs. Ovid Goulbourne, number 5. 20, we saw Brad Pipparata. Greg Gentile is a flanker. He'll alternate with Balch. Christopher Bishie, great receiving yardage, 81. And Todd Kresge also doubles the linebacker, number 89.
And to finish Carlson's number, he has thrown for 6 touchdowns on the season. Ovid Goulbourne carries the football. He's going to be stopped just shy of a first down, as they'll mark it, I believe, at around the 47-yard line in Northampton territory. It's a gain of 3, tackled on the play by Chris Hall and Jeff Pammer.
Those responsible for trench warfare up front, 77 Mike Apgar, 72 Lance Torres. Mike Easterday is the center on the right side. Leroy Wheeler, 69, Jason Greller, number 70.
And already a big play here early on as Easton on a 3rd, and it is a full yard that they have to go as Northampton bunches everybody up at the line of scrimmage. They'll hand the ball off to Goulbourne. He'll kick it outside. I don't know. It all depends on the spot. Opplinger is there along with number 12, Billy Haight. And now it's all a matter where the official puts his foot.
Surprised he rubs this one outside, Gary. If he follows his blocker, he goes up to the line, the 45, and has the first down.
We can give him no yards on the carry, even though it looked like he picked up about a half a yard on the play. And Easton will be looking at a 4th and inches, the defensive line, Dick.
Looking at a 3-man front for the kids. Rick Cressley playing great. Chris Hall and Pat Fanningham, the defensive ends.
Well, Easton's going to go for it here on 4th and inches. And again, Northampton will bunch 8 players up at the line of scrimmage. Turn around, give it to Pipparata. He's got the first down. Pipparata will fall forward to the 42-yard line. He'll get 5 on the play and a first down.
3rd down, it was Pipparata leading Goulbourne with the ball. Vice versa for the 4th down. Here's Northampton defensive lineup. 4 linebackers, Opplinger, Palkovich, Pammer, Schaefer. Corners, Billy Haight, Josh Harricle. Free safety, Tyler Longley. And number 87, a good one, strong safety, Jim Zuber.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line for the Red Rovers in Northampton territory. And they give it to Goulbourne. And he'll get inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Give Ovid 3 on the play. He gets tackled by Rick Cressley along with Dan Palkovich.
Just have not getting Goulbourne room to utilize his speed so far. It's been bang, bang near the line of scrimmage, and he's be held to short yardage.
They give him a gain of only 2. He picked up about 2.5, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 officially on the clock. Turn around, fake the ball as Carlson, pitch it back outside to Pipparata. And Pipparata will get upended on good pursuit by 33, Jeff Pammer, who knocks him down and get a little bit of option. And boy, when you have Goulbourne, Carlson, or that guy right there running the ball, those are pretty good options.
And the secret ingredient, and you'll see it here, it's Baltz in motion. And on the pitch, that allows the runner, Pipparata, to cut inside the block. Baltz taking a defensive man wide. Stevie really raved about Josh Baltz. And since he's come back from that injury, real big plus for the Rovers.
3rd and 3 from the 35-yard line. Obviously, Easton in 4-down territory. Here comes the pitch to Goulbourne. Whole bunch of red shirts out in front of him. Ovid's going to go for the corner. Ovid Goulbourne, 35-yard touchdown.
We said allow him to show his speed. Hadn't been able to up to now, but that time from the eye, and he is the deep man in the set. It's simply a quick pitch. Pipparata leading, Pullman leading. Boy, that's pretty easy. Baltz again, kick to the outside. Foot race, Goulbourne's gonna win it.
For Goulbourne, that is his 8th rushing touchdown of the year. That's his 13th touchdown of the season. And good blocking, as Dick said, on that right side. There were a whole bunch of Red Rover jerseys out there. In to kick the extra point for Easton is Brendan Pickle, and it is going to be no good. That is unusual. He came in 30 for 32. That one may have been tipped, and Easton, instead of leading 7-0, leads by a 6-0 score. And we're going to take a look here at the tip. 25 got in there early. That was Rick Presley. 6-0 Easton. Stay with us. Look at Ovid Goulbourne. 41 yards were his on that drive as they went 56 yards in 7 plays. Goulbourne carried it 4 times, the final 35 yards for the touchdown. So Pickle will kick off for the 2nd time. Again, it's Haight and Pammer back to receive it. And it will be Haight, and you can't run it out of the end zone. I'm not sure why in high school. That's a bad rule.
Let him run. Gary, we got to look at Cresley putting the pressure on the placement attempt for the extra point. He has played so well. You're talking about a young man less than 200 pounds playing the nose guard position. Let's get a look at the Rovers up front. Apgar, Lance Torres, 2 good tackles. Zach Pizarro gets a start tonight. He's earned it. 33 at one end. Tommy Bean, number 5 at the other end.
Apgar goes 265. Torres goes 230. So there's a little bit of muscle along that defensive line. Give the ball off to Pammer. He scoots around the outside, and some good positive yardage for Jeff Pammer. He came in needing only 10 yards for 1,000. Tackled on the play by Jason Grower, the 6'2", 245-pound senior linebacker. The gain to the 27 is a gain of 7.
And you say, why isn't 270-pound Jason Grower up front? Because he's one of 4 linebackers. Millen, Jones, Grower, Kresge. The corners, Gentile and Price. And very deep in the safety position for Easton, you had Bernard Kuhn, number 14.
2nd and 3. Turn around, hand the ball off. I believe Opplinger, the ball carrier, it is. He'll put his head down and get maybe a yard or so. Tackled by Tommy Beam along with Lance Torres. And the officials will mark it for a gain of about a half a yard. We're going to call it no gain.
First possession for the kids, tried to pass. This possession opened up with a run.
Big play for Northampton, 3rd and a short 3. Oh my, Mushko got nailed by Mike Apgar. Apgar came crashing through the line of scrimmage and just put helmet to helmet on Craig Mushko. Back to the 23, a loss of 4.
You said that Easton's front 4, Gary, so good that you can let the linebackers not worry as much about tackling and worry about coverage. Apgar showed us there.
So again, Northampton forced to punt it on a 1-2-3 and out. Pammer will kick at the ball, and Easton again should have great field position. Baltz is running over there. He will not get the play. It hit the back of a Northampton player, number 12, Billy Haight, and it will be down at the 49-yard line. That is a 28-yard punt.
Northampton coach is screaming at a Talkton Easton kid, Gary.
There's going to be a penalty down here, Dick, and I think it might be against Northampton.
Little huddle.
Mike Sechrist will give us the signal. First down for Easton as the ball will be placed at the 49-yard line. I think illegal participation was the call.
He's going over to Mike Sechrist, going over to Tico Johnson now, Gary, with the explanation. But the Northampton coaches were screaming that it touched an Easton Rover first.
So the Red Rovers, second possession, 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line, and now the officials will call a timeout as they continue to discuss things with Tico Johnson.
Easton will use a split back and an I formation, and both guys can play the front part of the I and the back part. You want to go outside, look for Goulbourne speed. You want to go power, look for Pipperata tackle to tackle.
Dick, everybody around here sort of believes that that ball hit an Easton player.
That's what they.
I don't know whether we have another look at it, but
I caught the Northampton staff, and they were really screaming for that call.
We'll try to show it to you again. Right after this play, 1st and 10 Easton, they may have caught a break. That could have been Northampton's football. There's that inside handoff, only this time it smelled out very nicely by Northampton as the ball was handed off the Balts. Chris Hall and Pokovits make the tackle. Loss of a yard.
Let's watch this 4th down Northampton punt now.
Oh, that hits him in the leg, Dick. Wow, that's a badly missed call by the officials. See if Easton can capitalize. 2nd and 11. Carlson's going to roll to his left. Fire it out here, and it's going to be caught as he dropped the ball right in the hands of number 82, George Bright. Harricle on the tackle. Bright with the catch up to the 31-yard line. 21-yard gain.
Carlson doesn't have those big high numbers, but has been most effective when he opened it up. That was simply a little cross pattern. Easton, of course, plays with tight ends for the most part and a flanker.
That was the 4th catch of the year for Bright. Add another 21. He's got 67 on the season.
That was a great throw. Lofted just enough over the D.
And the pitch back to Goulbourne. Trying to get outside. Look at Pammer. Pammer just ran him down and simply put him down. And Dick, you know, as great as offensive players as Pammer and Opplinger are, they're terrific defensive players.
Yeah, talked to Jason Cremus, his track coach, and he talked about Pammer, 5th in the States last year in the hurdle, and he said he's anxious for spring to see how much speed he has developed from it. Well, the speed was there tonight.
Goulbourne will lose a couple of yards. And it will bring up a 2nd and 12 from the 33-yard line. Turn around, hand the ball off. Pipperata puts his head down and will get inside the 30. Tackled on the play by Hall.
We told you the Rovers play a 44 defense. Northampton plays a 34. They like very active linebackers. I think one of the things, at least in this sequence, when Easton has been held to very short rushing yardage, that they are utilizing their linebackers more. Seem to be coming a lot more.
They look at a 3rd and 8. Again, 4-down territory for the Rovers from the 29-yard line. Getting the rush. And the pass is overthrown as a little bit too far. No way for Goulbourne to get to it. And good pressure by Josh Harricle as he was blitzing, Dick, from his cornerback position.
Josh Harricle from a cornerback position with a corner blitz. And really, I think, made Carlson not only throw it before he wanted to, but before he could utilize more rollout action.
Here you get a look at Steve Schiffert, his usual rather tense self before a ball game. And Dick, they are going to eschew the field goal and go for a 4th and 8 here. The field goal would have been about a 46-yarder. 4th and 8. Again, Harricle is blitzing. Carlson trying to throw. Oh, good play defensively by Tyler Longley as he came up and put the hit on Baltz. And Dick, if Baltz makes that catch and gets past Longley, he may have had a touchdown.
Free country, open range. You're absolutely right. Watch this. Again, quick move. I think that was a zone blitz. They dropped their lineman, Gary.
Again, they had Harrickle blitzing, but he got picked up that time. In the backfield, good blocking by Easton. And Northampton, they keep creeping further up the field as they'll start this drive on the 29. Just inside of 3 minutes, 7 or make it 6-0 Easton. Mushko, nobody to throw to. He'll go up the middle. And Mushko will get out over the 30 to the 31. And he'll gain a couple of yards before he gets tackled on the play by 95 Tommy Beam, along with Jared Myers.
Yeah, why he pulled that one down and chose to run illustrates the point we just made, Gary. There is such good pressure by the front four that the linebackers can back off into 7 to 10 yard coverage.
2nd and 8 from the 31, and Northampton hasn't been able to do much. Their best play, a 7-yard run by Pammer on their last possession. We're going to get a timeout called by Northampton. Mushko did not like what he was looking at on the Easton side of the ball. It is 6-0 Easton, 2:15 to go. First period. You're watching District 11 4A semifinal football.
Hey, football fans! If you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus, featuring GE washers and dryers, GE dishwashers, GE microwaves, GE ranges, GE refrigerators. Plus, Kleckner's features free delivery, backed by their own factory-trained service department. Hurry in for best selection. Make us your last stop and see the savings on new GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
We welcome you back. Gary Laubach, Dick Tracy, Paul Plattenberg, and Brian Ludroff. Glad you're with us. John Gallahan pushing the buttons tonight. And again, at 9:30, we will have the Parkland East Stroudsburg Southball game for you. Pammer, by the way, came into the game 6th in season rushing history, 4th in career rushing. And Mushko's got some great numbers, too, as he throws an incomplete pass there. So he is 0 for 3 on the night. He came in number 1 in season yardage last year with 1,700 yards. This year, his number is good enough for number 4 all-time, coming in with 1221, and he's 2nd all-time in career passing.
Showed screen that time, Gary. Fake the little slant out to Pammer and set up the screen on the far side with Opplinger, and he just simply threw too low and actually had pretty much time that time.
3rd and 8. Northampton yet to get a first down. And again, they'll work out of the gun. Split Pammer and Opplinger in the backfield. Mushko. There's a little toss that is complete. And Easton just mauling John Opplinger as 72 Torres along with Pizarro.
That was a shuffle pass. And Easton played this. Watch this. They just string this darn thing out. Mushko wants to throw it and can't throw it. Then he throws it into a crowd, and Opplinger's lucky to just get the reception.
So they lose a yard on the completion. And again, Pammer has to punt at the balls. He'll punt away, but Josh is there. He'll collect it at the 43-yard line. And he'll get ankle tied by number 82, Chris Hall. As that punt covered 27 yards.
The punt is low and flat, and we said that Baltz has such great hand. This time looking to set the wall up on the Northampton side of the field. Never did get to the outside.
So the ball placed down on the 49, Easton's 3rd possession, with 1:21 to work with. In the first period, they lead 6-0. Turn around, hand the ball off to Piperata. Piperata in the last ball game gained 195 yards and scored a couple of touchdowns.
And Stevie said he was dead tired. The absence of Goulbourne as, you know, the 50-50 guy out of that backfield.
They'll move the ball to the 47-yard line, a gain of 4 by Piperata. He was tackled by Paukovitz and Pammer. And it's 2nd and a long 6. A little bit of a late handoff, delayed handoff. Allow that blocking to form. Goulbourne carries. Tackled by Schaefer and Pammer to the 41, a gain of 6.
Yeah, a real good call by the Easton bench. This is a delayed draw. Let the blockers pick out their double teams and set up the blocks. That is good yardage, 8 yards in the second and long.
And now they're looking at 3rd and 1. Pipparata, first down, keeps them churning. Pip has had a great season. To the 32-yard line, a gain of 9. Plakovitz and Harrico on the tackle.
They're going to let the clock run out now, Gary.
It will indeed run out. The first period is in the can, as they say, and it's Easton with a 6-0 lead. When we come back, the Red Rovers will have it 1st and 10 on the Northampton 33-yard line.
Remember when life was much simpler? It was easy to know who could be trusted to carpet your home.
Today, the choices are overwhelming. Make it simple. Make it Mohawk Color Center.
Celebrating 125 years of Mohawk commitment to floor covering quality, comfort, and style.
Mohawk Color Center, where the value of family and an appreciation for the simple beauty of home are woven into everything we do.
Mohawk Color Center. Simply the right way to go.
Visit R&J Carpet Connection, 922 North 3rd Street in Whitehall.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Jack?
The way you feel about sports cars will never be the same.
We come back just as Pipparata gets a pitch, and Pammer gets Pipparata. As Jeff Pammer is so quick, Pipparata's pretty quick himself. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
What's his pursuit? Along the line of scrimmage, too. Not downfield. Yeah, you know, you said something a few short minutes ago about two good football teams. When I was coming down here this evening, I thought if they would have had districts in the days of Erdős and Bobby Roode, this would be an annual event.
Oh, my goodness. Two great football teams. And they may be two pretty great football teams here tonight. Goulbourne on a little bit of a screen pass. And Goulbourne, as he did earlier in the first period, down the sidelines, as he'll get down to around the 10-yard line. Tyler Longley is there to make the tackle, and we'll see where the officials mark it. But Easton's going to have it 1st and goal to go.
This play on purpose is supposed to isolate a speedster in a one-on-one situation. Well, you saw the result of it right there. Probably a 2-yard pass, and it goes for a big gainer.
It goes for 23 yards. 1st and goal to go for Easton. Technically, they'll call it the 9-yard line. Closer to the 10. Pipparata up the gut. Hit by a host of white shirts. Number 51 on the bottom is Justin Opplinger, along with 53, Dan Schaefer.
Mike Schneider telling me very early in the evening about the things that he's proud of most out of the Northampton kids. And of course, that would be the educational aspect. But he said the surprise thing is the defensive and offensive line play.
Gain it 2, 2nd and 7, 2nd and goal. Baltz will desert the backfield. And they'll hand the ball to Pipparata again. And he'll get down inside the 5. Looks like he got down to about the 4-yard line before he gets hit by number 9 Harrico and Plakovitz.
Well, it just seemed that you knew when you got that first down inside the 10 that they're going to go to their running game. How about there? Goulbourne has the deep man. They gave the short man, and Goulbourne beats him up for the line block.
And he picks up 3, so it's 4th or 3rd and goal to go from the 4. Pitch to Pipparata. And he'll get tackled shy of the goal line by number 9, Josh Harrickle. Harrickle has been involved in a lot of tackles. That young man's only a sophomore. Cressley also there to help out. And Easton's going to be looking at a 4th and goal from the 2.
Played extremely well by the Northampton defensive right side. End, corner, and safety coming up.
And again, Easton will go for it from the 2-yard line. Pipparata's numbers tonight so far, 10 carries, 39 yards. Goulbourne, 7 carries for 60, or less than that, minus 23 on the pass play. And here comes a penalty flag, so hold everything. Dick, it looked like Carlson was going to keep that ball.
I think so. Remember, he opened the game up with a very surprise move. Rovers clapping, Gary going against the kids. Offsides.
Offsides against Northampton. It'll be a half the distance to the goal line penalty. Goulbourne, 6 carries for 45 yards and a catch for 23. The ball on the 1-yard line on the 1-yard penalty. Carlson. Did he get in? Nope. Or was it Grower? It's Grower.
From
the Fatso series.
Yep.
So it's Grower in the backfield.
What
Jason
a bonus.
Grower with a
what
touchdown.
a bonus.
Grower on the Fatso.
Look at him. It's easy for him.
So Jason Grower taking a page out of a buddy of ours at Whitehall, Dick. Tony Coca.
You know, I saw him 2 games. He's been the lead back. Stevie was commenting about that night. Gary, I wonder if he was hinting. He stands about 1 yard off the line of scrimmage. There primarily as a blocking back. Go ahead, Gary.
I can tell you that that was Jason Grower's first touchdown of the season. 51-yard drive, 9 plays. Jason Grower, how would you like to tackle 6'2", 245 pounds?
245, you're cheating him. He's up 270.
Yeah. Take another look at this. Dick, he's standing right alongside of Grower.
Yeah, he's just off the line of scrimmage as the lead back.
I mean, right alongside of Carlson. And he just turns and hands him the ball. And I thought Carlson kept it and was following through the line. He was not.
Timeout on the extra point attempt by the Rovers because they want to set up 2.
They did not make the initial extra point on their first touchdown. So they will indeed go for 2. Goulbourne in motion. Keeping it is Carlson, and Luke's in. 2-point conversion by Carlson is good. 8:23 on the clock. Easton 14 and Northampton nothing. Stay with us.
Before you enjoy the comforts of home, you need to feel at home with your builder. That's why we've created the Total Quality Assurance Program, a comprehensive checklist that keeps you totally involved from the initial visit until long after you've moved in. It's no wonder so many Lehigh Valley families have trusted us for unique floor plans and award-winning quality. We use only the finest materials, including Andersen windows, all at value that can't be matched. Spectrum Homes, where the difference is in the details.
Welcome back to Cottingham Stadium. Packed house here tonight. And they have had years and years of packed houses here. The winner will play next week, Friday night, we would assume, in the championship ball game against either Parkland or East Stroudsburg South. Of course, that's an interesting matchup because East Stroudsburg South beat Parkland earlier this season. Bob Dady and Chris Michael up there doing that one. Dick and Bob Dady will be doing Notre Dame Northwestern tomorrow night. That is a 2A. semifinal. Here's the kickoff by Pickle. Back to collect it will be Billy Haight at the 7-yard line. And Billy will get out over the 25 to about the 26-yard line. And Northampton, Dick, without a first down, Quinn on the tackle.
Yeah, if you write the script, Gary, it would be script so far. The power of Easton and the dominating defense and stopping the kids in their tracks so far.
Northampton so far, total yardage, 4 yards. First and 10, kids. Although we know they are an explosive football team. They'll hand it off inside to Pammer. And Jeff can't go anywhere, and in fact looked like he lost a yard on the play as he stopped at the 25 by Jared Myers, the 200-pound junior, a loss of 1.
How about the old crossbuck series? Opplinger, the first man through, going to his left. Pammer, a little bit of delay going to his right.
I said coming in that Jeff would reach 1,000 yards. I'm not quite sure that'll be the case the way things are going. He has only 6 yards so far in the ball game. Mushko rolling to his right. He's going to run it. And Opplinger out in front, but getting in behind Opplinger was Zach Pizarro. And he just simply comes in and tackles Mushko back at the 24-yard, making the 23-yard line, a loss of 2.
Zach Pizarro, only a junior, has really come on strong throughout the year. This is a good play. How about he sheds the blocker and gets in the backfield, stops the speedster.
Northampton desperately needs to move this football. Easton has just had great field position from the moment they deferred. With the ball is Pammer. Nobody knew it. Pammer down the sideline. He'll run. No, he won't get past Baltz. That is a touchdown-saving tackle by Josh Baltz on a great fake by Northampton. Dick, they had all the blockers going to the left, and they brought Pammer back to the right.
This is the old single wing fake. From a tee, of course. And Pammer shows his speed as he gets the corner. We expected the Northampton to come with a big play. They came with it on a large third down situation.
45-yard pickup by Pammer. And he now is well over 1,000 yards, the first down of the game by Northampton, as we get a timeout called down on the field by Easton. Their second timeout of the first half. We'll call timeout. Easton 14, Northampton nothing. You're watching live District 11 football on RCN 4.
Online ordering, departmental packaging, desktop delivery, summarized billing. Reasons why businesses choose Stotts & Fatzinger Office Supply for all their office needs.
Being local, we have all the tools that are necessary to be successful in the marketplace. They know that they're going to get the product that they need to run their business more efficiently.
Let Stotts & Fatzinger develop a program to suit your specific needs. Stotts & Fatzinger, exceeding expectations.
You get a look at the Easton sideline. Doug Powell, the defensive coach, with the headset on there. And we'll try to squeeze in the Kraus Dodge Trivia question of the week on our first opportunity, 1st and 10 from the 32. So Northampton finally gets a first down and gets it in Easton territory. Mushko will keep the ball, and he'll get outside and get back-to-back first downs. As Mushko is down inside the 20, tackled by Dominic Price, and they're going to mark the ball at the 19-yard line. Watch this play by Mushko.
2 consecutive big plays, Gary, for the kids. Both of them originated by Mushko with his great ball handling.
Gain of 14 yards by the quarterback. Easton down, or Northampton down to the 18-yard line. Opplinger out of the backfield. Quick pitch to Pammer. Opplinger out in front of him. And hanging on at the bottom of the foot is 89 Todd Kresge. Positive yardage for Pammer. Looks like he got to about the 16.
I believe the Rovers did a good job of keying on Opplinger that time, Gary. Whenever you take a guy of his status and put him in motion, I'd certainly be aware of that motion, man.
Easton has come up behind Opplinger when he's out there to block, and they run right by him as he's heading downfield to find somebody to hit. 2nd and 8 from the 16. There he goes again. Same play, back to throw Pammer. He's going to throw the ball back here to nobody. They tried to get Mushko out there, and that had worked, I believe, earlier in the season.
It did for a score. Early in the year, I think it was Freedom, they came back with a comebacker. Off the pitch, set up by the previous play. The motion's the same, the pitch is the same, and now the stop and throwback. But Zach Pizarro and company, good job of playing disciplined defense.
Northampton tonight, 1 for 5 for a -1 yard passing. As it's a big 3rd and 8 from the 16. Right up the middle they go. As they tried to fool them by going Pammer on a quick hitter. And nobody was fooled for the Red Rovers, particularly John Suazo, who was there to make the tackle. And no gain on the play.
Quick hitter, quick count, take advantage of the speed running back. Easton doesn't fall for it. Northampton's a nice little pattern here, Gary, where Opplinger delays out of the backfield and goes over the middle. Let's see. Well, it'll depend on what the Easton secondary is going to come in at.
The problem has been Mushko hasn't had any time to find anybody. And Easton's coming again, Dick. Here they come. He's got some time. He'll loft it into the end zone. Opplinger, he caught it. That's a touchdown. Up, or check it, Pammer. Pammer with the catch from Mushko. Pammer catches his 4th touchdown pass of the year, and Mushko throws his 16th.
Simply going to look right, come back to the left. Help comes just a little bit too late for the one-on-one coverage. Pammer's just going to out-jump him in the end zone.
That's a great catch by Pammer. 4:56 on the clock. And Tyler McCandless in to kick the extra point. It's down. The kick looks true from here. It is good. 4:56 on the clock. Dick, we've got ourselves a pretty interesting football game.
Yeah, and the interesting part there is that the kids lived up to their big play billing. You had the great quick run by Pammer, the nice keeper by the quarterback Mushko, and now the good catch in the end zone by Pammer. So they were able to come back on a game that Easton has been dominating.
One more look at it. That's just out jumping the defender. And Dick, what a perfect time to give you our trivia question of the night following a Jeff Pammer touchdown. So we're going to have to do a little editing on the fly here. The Kraus Dodge trivia question of the week is this one. Jeff Pammer has not 17, look at that, 18 touchdowns this season. The school record for 1 year is 23, set 42 years ago. Who holds that record for Northampton? Boy, we didn't give people time to think. Charlie Wogenrich, 1961. I think we got to the trivia answer a little quickly. Well, I'll tell you what, Dick, we'll ask the question again in 2 minutes and see who was paying attention.
What are they saying from the refrigerator door in the kitchen? What was that question, Mom?
Charlie Wogenrich, could he play some football?
A speedster.
Northampton kicks off for the first time. They kick it short to the 21-yard line. And then down.
Gotta call the knee down.
Goulbourne, they say, had his knee down. And Ovid says, what are you talking about? Let's take a look at it. Oh, I don't think it touched. I don't think that knee touched. Oh, I don't think so. It's close. The Northampton drive, 74 yards in 8 plays. Dick, they had gone into that drive without a first down, and they picked up 3 of them in that drive.
I'm anxious to see what Easton runs here, Gary.
1st and 10 from the 22. Well, that looked familiar. Get it out here to Goulbourne, and he'll pay the price. He's going to lose a couple of yards. Billy Haight is there to smack him.
This time the motion might have hurt him.
Watch Pipparata try to throw a block, and watch Haight not let him.
Boy, how about that? Getting rid of the blocker and make the stop. Might have been a giveaway with emotion. Instead of coming across, he went deep for the timing, set up the pitch.
So they lose 2 yards on the play. Back to the 20, 2nd and 12. And Goulbourne in motion. Carlson back, looking back the other way, firing downfield, great play. Billy Haight went over the top, intended for Chris Bishie, and Haight with a good defensive play.
Haight with a real good defensive play, not interfering, getting the hand in there. Cross pattern by the tight end Bishie.
And Dick, what he avoided doing was wrapping that right arm around the receiver, which will get you an interference call every time.
Easton's leading receiver, Bishie, 25 receptions, 618 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a whopping 24 yards per catch.
Back to .7, so we could even round that baby up to 25 yards per catch. They hand it off to Goulbourne on a draw play, and Northampton stiffens. Rick Cressley is there to make the hit. And Easton goes for the first time tonight. 1, 2, 3, and out.
On a 3rd and long, after an incomplete, well, extremely long, after an incomplete pass, guy, defense loves to guess, draw. And here the kids guess it exactly right.
On a loss of 2, so Easton minus 4 yards on that possession. So they will punt it away. Pickle is their punter. And deep to receive for Northampton is Pammer. And he's a good one, and they're going to let him receive it. From the 45-yard line, Pammer will get the ball into Easton territory as he picked up about 15 yards on the return. That's a 37-yard punt. Suazo and Beam make the tackle.
Some people saying, gee, only 15 yards. I'll tell you, that is a very impressive 15 yards because you're setting up your teammates. Good field position on the 40 and almost 3.5 left on the clock.
Boy, Northampton could make things very, very interesting here in the final 3:21 with great field position. There's the pitch to Pammer, and he tries to get outside. Easton will have none of it. As back there to hit him was Pizarro along with Kresge. And there will be a loss of a yard.
Pizarro's making a habit of that, Gary. Come across nicely.
Yeah, Pizarro, great penetration. He's a junior, 5'11", 195. And Northampton looks at a 2nd and 11 from the 41. The clock running, 2:45 to go. We have Northampton with 2 timeouts left. Rolling, Mushko, good protection. Fire the ball behind the intended receiver, Gabrilik. Chris was open, and he's a big target at 230 pounds. Bernie Kuhn is there with the coverage.
Chris Gabrilik wore number 74 in his last encounter when he became an interior lineman. Now he's back to 86. He was the only returner from tackle to tackle and one tight end on the line of scrimmage from last year's graduation losses.
And Dick, I would say that's where Tico has done his best coaching job, along that line of scrimmage. He had great backs, and everybody knew that. But boy, oh boy, as he turned this kind of a small, inexperienced group into a pretty terrific offensive line. There's the quick hitter again by Pammer. And he'll put his head down and get up to about the 38-yard line as tackle made by Millen and Apgar. Marcus continues to play with that broken hand.
Interesting call right here. You're coming up to a 4th, and you're down to your opponent's 38-yard line. And they're going to talk it over.
And I don't blame him at all. This is a big, big play, and I don't think, it's an easy decision, Dick. Yeah. Pammer, 7 carries for 55 yards now in the ball game, and normally, Dick, this is where we'd give you the trivia answer, but we've already done that, I think. Here you get a good look at Steve Schiffert. Now we're going to give you the question without the answer. So this is the Kraus Dodge Wacko World trivia question of the night. Dick, I don't know, 4th and 8 from your opponent's 38.
Yeah, and the couple I don't knows go along with that guy. You want to pin him down? Sure, good idea. But you give Easton the ball with about 2 minutes to go.
They're going to punt it, or at least show punt.
Yeah, I was going to say, with Pammer back there, you never know, although he is the regular punter.
The up back, as we continue to show you, that Charlie Wogenrich has 23 touchdowns. They're going to throw it. They've got Haight. Haight's got the ball. That's a Northampton first down. I'll tell you what, Tico Johnson is a riverboat gambler. Baltz is there to make the tackle, and that is going to be good for a first down to the 20-yard line. That is an 18-yard pass play from Pammer.
Boy, you gotta like this guy. I mean, he shows it immediately. Stays in bounds with a catch, gets the yardage, stops the clock. 2:07, and now they're knocking.
Pammer to Haight for 18 yards. Down to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 Northampton. Mushko drops the ball out here to Haight, and Haight will get up inside the 10-yard line to about the 7-yard line. Tackled by Josh Baltz. Good block back there by Pammer to protect his quarterback.
And good move inside by Haight after the reception.
13-yard pickup. First and goal to go from the 7. Northampton trying to tie this one up. Mushko rolls right and looks and will keep and will fire. Tried to get the ball to Haight through kind of a fastball. Difficult to catch. Incomplete pass.
A little bit like the first game, Gary. Easton get off to this lead just as they did here tonight, 14-0. Northampton playing catch-up.
He did not read Billy Haight initially, looking back towards the center of the end zone, and that's why you didn't see that he was wide open early. That was Torres and Kresge putting the pressure on Mushko. 2nd and goal to go from the 7. Northampton again with 1 timeout left and 1:39 on the clock. It's Pammer to the outside, cuts up inside, and he'll get to about the 5-yard line. He'll pick up 2.
I believe it was Kresge, was it?
It
not?
was.
Oh, what a great job. He closes immediately.
And the clock continues to run. You see it winding down. 3rd and goal to go. Certainly in McCandless range here, but they'd love to put up 6 and try to tie the ball game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Gary. If there is a 4th down, what would it be?
Trips to the right side. Opplinger the lone setback. Penalty flag is down. And Dick, they may have too many men on the line of scrimmage.
Could be.
It's a procedure penalty against Northampton.
I think you made the call, Gary. This is a formation, by the way, which they love to run. Opplinger in that little circle route. He lined up as a wing.
2nd penalty against Northampton for 6 total yards. Back to the 10. Goal to go. A little more room to operate here on the pass play. Mushko will roll right. He's getting chased. He's looking. He's running out of room. He fires and it's caught. Oh my! Northampton with a catch. Number 80, Ed Crow. 6'5". He goes up in the air and makes the grab.
2 touchdown passes to the back of the end zone. We'll get an end zone view right here. Strings it out, pressure there, throws in the air. And Crow at 6'5", goal keeps his feet in.
That's his 2nd touchdown of the year, the all-important. Tying extra point, it's blocked. In is Marcus Millen to block the extra point. And Easton hangs on to a 14-13 lead. May have been a high snap there, too, to help Millen get there a little quicker. 17th touchdown pass of the season by Mushko. 2 tonight. That's a high snap, Dick, and it got down late.
It's lucky he didn't hit that with his cast. He knocked out of the stadium.
So Northampton goes 40 yards in 8 plays. Mushko to Crow. And the extra point blocked by Millen.
Eddie Crow, an interesting story. Mike Schneider telling us about him. Of course, he was at Northampton, went to New York, and then came back to Northampton, finishing out his senior career at 6'5". The target showed off well there.
Always nice to throw to a guy that tall. And he was sitting right there in the back of the end zone to make the catch.
Boy, Mushko's both touchdown passes, both under pressure and both just perfectly thrown to the inside of the back part of the end zone.
Piperata back there along with Chris Flournoy, as Jordan Urbanchik will kick the ball off, number 41. Sophomore's last kickoff, not deep at all.
No, that might be a reason why I have Goulbourne up for the Rovers, Gary.
Baltz collects it at the 21. And Josh will return it to about the 35 with 44 seconds on the clock, as he's tackled on the play by Sid Gerger.
Now the Rovers have a choice. You want to play for 44 seconds, or you want to be satisfied with a 14-13 edge and run the clock out?
Well, Easton kept Northampton quiet through the entire first quarter. Northampton's had 2 possessions in the second quarter, and they have scored on both. Easton scored on 2 of their first 3 possessions. They'll hand it off. Piperata cuts to the outside to the 40, 45, and they'll get dragged down at midfield, and in fact to the 49-yard line. That is a 16-yard run. John Opplinger on the tackle.
Little trap play away from the motion. Opplinger's helmet damaged.
Piperata with good yardage. Pip on the night now with 55 yards on 11 carries. So you tack that on to his 11:32 coming in, and he's up to 11:87. A little dirt there in the helmet. That looks like a pretty good divot. 1st and 10 from the 49. Back to throw. Carlson, and he overthrows the intended receiver. Number 81, Chris Bishey. Harrickle with the coverage.
A little slant pass, a little pattern slanted to the outside, but deep. Carlson really threw a good ball that time. Overthrew it, but away from the defense.
Bishey's behind the defender, however, and he has great hands, as Dick said. Now has 26 catches on the season. By far the leading receiver on the ball club. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Clock stopped at 25 seconds. They're going to throw back. And that one, oh, Piperata takes a smack from Harrickle. Intended for Piperata, and then he paid the price.
That's one time when you come back to the huddle and don't thank your quarterback. Because if you catch it, you're going to get scalped.
And if you don't, you're going to get scalped.
That's right. Soften the blow a little bit, though. You don't have the ball to hang on to and can prepare for it better.
In fact, Dick, that's one of those dangerous plays. He makes the catch, you pop him, a fumble, you pick it up, and oh,
yeah, and
all of a sudden,
you know, it's escort.
Yeah. 3rd and 10, 21 seconds. In what has been a very entertaining first half. Unless you're rooting for one of these teams, it's probably been a little tense. Piperata breaks through and gets all the way down to the 34-yard line. Pip will pick up another 15, and the clock will stop with 16 seconds.
Stevie's going to call timeout. Easton, the Red Rovers, going to call timeout. Let's try and get one play in, he says, and then possibly get Mr. Pickle on the field.
15-yard pickup. Easton now with 109 yards on the ground, 44 yards in the air. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line, and according to our numbers, they are out of timeouts. As there you get a look at a Northampton fan, but those are not the Northampton stands. So she's sitting amongst the enemy. And we did notice there were 3 Easton fans sitting over on the Northampton side. I like people with spunk. There you get a look at Steve Schiffert.
Trying to think out the pattern for this. If you got time for two, you better throw it to the sideline here. But I believe Easton is out of timeouts.
Dickey chastised me a little bit. I always call him Stevie for some reason. He said, only you and my mother call me Stevie. So Steve Schiffert on the sidelines on a 1st and 10 from the 34. Rolling and looking and firing is Carlson. He's got a man open, and that will indeed be a good catch. Bishy with the grab to the 20-yard line, a 14-yard pickup, and the clock stopped with 10 seconds to go.
A very deep out pattern, Gary. One receiver out. Good job of Bishy coming back to the ball. He actually came back about 5 yards to catch that pass.
And that will set up a field goal. The ball placed down at the 20-yard line, 37-yard field goal attempt. And again, Pickle has made a 40-yarder this year. It's down. The kick is up. It's long enough. And it is good. 37-yard field goal by Brendan Pickle. 6 seconds on the clock, and Easton up by a 17-13 score.
So Easton doesn't hang their head after that second long Northampton drive, Gary. And amazingly, they're playing against the clock, and they did it with two very productive runs. Some good counter action, some delay running, good yardage, set themselves up with a Bishy reception, and now they kick the field goal, and we still have 6 seconds left.
Pickle now 7 for 10 on the season, that 37-yarder. And Dick, that brings me back to last week going into the first half. Both you and I wondered why Easton didn't pay a little more attention against Becca at the end of the first half last week of moving the ball down to get him in a position to kick a field goal. Because he is certainly a weapon, as good a kicker as we have in the Lehigh Valley for sure.
I actually thought they'd try one more offensive play to set him up even better or go for the score.
Well, it's a tough call. No timeouts left in 6
seconds.
Well, yeah, 6 seconds now. They had 10 to start the play.
You know, run that little out pattern. If it's not there, throw it away.
So they start that drive on their own 35-yard line and put together a drive of 45 yards. Two nice runs by Piperata and the pass play to Bishy. Picked up at the 7, faked the reverse. Keeping the ball is Haight. And Billy Haight almost broke through. Hanging on to him is number 14, Bernie Kuhn. And that's the way the first half will end. A terrific first half of football. Very, very entertaining. We saw it all. Good kicking, good running. Certainly some tough defense. It's 17-13. Easton will be back to take a look at the halftime show. Easton and Northampton. You're watching District 11 football on RCN 4 Sports.
There really is no place like home. And there's no one like the ABE Doors and Windows Man to make sure your home is completely secure and energy efficient. We rely on the finest manufacturers like Gorel. From bay windows to storm doors, they set the standard for quality, beauty, and dependability that will last a lifetime. When you want a company that lives up to its reputation, call the ABE Doors and Windows Man. Because quality doesn't cost, it pays.
Need heating oil now? Call Apgar Oil Company for same-day express delivery. Call 610-434-5195 for fast, friendly, dependable service. Is your house cold because you ran out of oil? Apgar Oil will provide immediate oil delivery at no extra charge. Apgar Oil has been servicing the Lehigh Valley since 1947. Call us.
What do you look for in a dealership? Why not start with experience in virtually every kind of vehicle? Add in a convenient location, the highest customer loyalty, continued growth, and a long history of being the best. These are the qualities Hummer looked for when choosing a representative in northeastern Pennsylvania. And they're the features you'll only find at Scott Chrysler, Saab, Chevrolet, Scott Lot, and now Scott Hummer. All on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile in Allentown.
Family Prescription Center in Bethlehem remembers when your pharmacist knew your name and your prescription needs. We've been serving your community for more than 111 years. Today, Family Prescription Center offers free delivery, old-fashioned customer service, and the best of today's technology.
I tell my friends to go there.
Call us to see how we can fulfill your prescription needs. 439 Wyandotte Street in Bethlehem.
You won't just be another customer, you'll be like the family.
We are back as you get a look at the Northampton Marching Band. Their director is Jeff Lancer. We'll turn all your attention down on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, the Northampton Area High School Marching Band. That was the Northampton Area High School Marching Band. When we come back, we'll get a look at the Easton Area High School Marching Band. It's halftime. Easton 17, Northampton 13. You're watching 4A District 11 football. Stay with us.
It starts here. Gets better through school. And ends up here.
We have two terrific football teams here tonight, but we also have two outstanding bands. Now it's time for the Easton Area High School Marching Band. Their director is Carol Ludy. They are getting themselves in position, as they always are an extremely entertaining group. So we'll draw your attention down on the field. The colors of America are waving. The head majorette is ready to give the orders to the troops. Ladies and gentlemen, Easton Area High School Marching Band. Well, they absolutely never disappoint. The game has not been disappointing either. A good first half. When we come back, we'll look at the first half stats. We'll look at some highlights, and Dick Tracy will analyze. 17-13. Stay with us.
Football fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus, featuring GE washers and dryers, GE dishwashers, GE microwaves, GE ranges, GE refrigerators. Plus, Kleckner's features free delivery, backed by their own factory-trained service department. Hurry in for best selection. Make us your last stop and see the savings on new GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
When you need a prescription filled, who do you turn to? Walters Pharmacy. Walters Pharmacy compounds prescriptions and takes filling prescriptions as their #1 priority. At Walters, you'll save time. Trust Walters Pharmacy for convenience with free, fast delivery in the city of Allentown. You can visit walterspharmacy.net and email the pharmacists with questions. Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy, making life easier through genuine care.
Hey, Lehigh Valley, Lanta wants you to express yourself. The new Silver Line Express connects the downtowns of Easton and Allentown with only 3 stops at popular shopping malls. Whether for work, shopping, or leisure activities, the new Silver Line Express will get you across the valley quickly.
Silver Line Express is great. I'll take it to my job in Allentown.
We'll take the Silver Line Express to the Allentown Art Museum.
Call Lanta for a map and schedule and fair information.
Let's go get Yakult. You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yakult for quality that beats the rest. They got cheesesteaks, French fries. The famous Yakult hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yakult. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yakult's, an Allentown tradition.
Easton getting ready to come back. We're glad you two have come back. There's Tico Johnson. He's limping a little bit, Dick. I don't know whether he got involved in some of the action down there on the field, but there has been plenty of it. As we take a look at the first, we're going to take a look here at Tico Johnson getting involved right there.
Oh.
Tico goes down, and that hurt.
Doesn't have the pads on either.
Let's hope he's okay. John Gaughan and Angela Palumbo finding that replay. Great job. Here are the stats. And Dick, the amazing part, in the first quarter, Northampton's total offense, 4 yards.
Yeah, just as in their first encounter, Gary, it is coming later, this time later in the first half, and really scored 2 to play total catch-up, and only the extra point was the difference at that time.
The other thing to check out, 2 good football teams playing, Dick, 0 turnovers.
Yeah, that has been phenomenal. And the penalties. Penalties real good tonight. Almost as if we come and saying, referees are going to say, we're going to let you decide this thing right out there.
R&J Carpet's been bringing our halftime stats all season long. Our thanks to them. All right, let's take through the halftime highlights. We'll show you how all the points were put on the board. We're going to start with the Easton Red Rovers. And here, Dick, is their first touchdown.
Here's the pitch to Goldburn. Paparotto leading. Gets the corner, gets the outside, and utilizes his great speed.
35 yards for that TD. And then Easton ran into a little problem with the extra point as it was blocked by Rick Cressley. And then Easton, Dick, on this drive, why not give it to Goldborn, Piperata, and then maybe Goldborn again?
Yeah, just set it up with their inside running. Staying inside the tackles, getting the good yardage there, steady dose. Mike Apgar squeezes into a blocking position, sets up this, and that's the one-on-one ISO you want. And then to get that sideline again with his good speed.
And then the least likely of all people, give the ball off to number 70, Jason Groller, for the touchdown. And then they were forced to go for 2, and Luke Carlson got it.
Carlson on the option used it well. Kids now on their comeback. First one, a simple handoff outside. Good play faking by Mushko, and Balt saves the TD versus the speed of Pammer.
45 yards for Pammer, and then why not Pammer in the end zone?
Excellently thrown, excellently caught. We'll see that almost in a replay of the second touchdown.
That's a replay of the first one. And as Dick said, the second one, why not find a guy who's 6'5"?
This time from the rollout, going out of bounds, leaps, and there's a bigger leap.
That's a great play by Mushko. I wasn't as nearly impressed until I saw the replay, and then there's the block by Marcus Millen. Tack on to that, a 37-yard field goal by Brendan Pickle, and those are the numbers in the first half.
And the Rovers will receive.
So Easton will get the ball, and Northampton will go on defense. They have stopped Easton only 2 times tonight from scoring, has the Northampton defense. Easton scored on their first possession, scored on their third possession, and scored on their 5th possession. So, Dick, they've scored on every other one. This is one of the non-scoring possessions coming up.
You know, when you're looking back at that first Northampton score set up by Pammer's run, Gary, you know, it was 3rd and 11. I remember that distinctly. I wonder if they let down a little bit. You know, it smells like pass, and watch Mishko there. You know, the time was elapsing, and I just wonder if they were smelling pass all the way, and he got away with a nice run around the far end, the right side.
And Dick, when you look back at that field goal not as devastating as you might think, because Northampton doesn't have that same kind of weapon.
Yeah,
so they would have really been looking to score a touchdown anyway, and down by 4, they're going to have to do that.
Yeah, their weapon is the big play, scoring 6, 7, or 8.
Individual numbers in the first half. Brad Pipparata, 12 carries, 70 yards. That's 5.8 per carry. Ovid Goulbourne, 8 carries for 41 yards. That's 5.1 per carry. Luke Carlson, as we showed you, 3 for 8 for 58 yards. Bishey with a 14-yard catch. Goulbourne a 23-yard catch. And Bright with a 21-yard catch. On the Northampton side, Pammer goes over 1,000 yards tonight. 8 carries, 57 yards. He's averaging 7.1 yards per carry. John Opplinger tonight, only 2 carries for 0 yards. Mushko, he is 4 for 9 for 38 yards. Pammer 1 for 2 for 18. Crow with a 10-yard catch. Haight with 2 catches, 31 yards. Pammer 1 catch, 16 yards. And Opplinger 1 catch for a -1 yard. So those are the numbers supplied to us by Brian Ludroff, doing all the individual stats tonight. And Easton will put the kickoff in play, 1st and 10, as they're going to mark the ball at the 24-yard line.
And if there's any surprise to me, Gary, in the first half numbers, it would be the passing completion percentage. I do not think that is typical of the way these 2 guys quarterback.
Yeah, 2 of the passes thrown by Northampton tonight were thrown by Pammer. So 4 for 9 is what Mushko has. 3 for 8, as we said, for Carlson. Goulbourne gets it and avoids the initial tackler, as Harricle was in there but couldn't bring him down. And because of that, positive yardage until Pammer catches up with Goulbourne. And Ovid's going to be pretty close to a 1st down.
Great ability here to get away from the first grasp. Momentarily. And then Goulbourne, favorite corner, and good 9-yard yardage.
He picks up 9, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 1 from the 34-yard line. Actually, if he gets completely to the 34, it will be a 1st down. Goulbourne now with 50 yards as the Easton center. Mike Easterday got a 1st down just as soon as he moved the football. Brad Pipparata will carry. And Pip is going to get the 1st down for Easton, as Schaefer is there to make the tackle. As a gain of 1, 1st down number 9 for the Red Rovers.
On all short yardage situation, it appears that Northampton with their 4 linebackers are simply plugging the gap, just diving right in the back, right into the gap, the hole, hitting one of those holes that's intended to run.
Dick, this is one of those psyche drives coming out of the locker room. Easton wants to establish themselves again, and Northampton wants to build up their psyche and stop the Red Rovers here. Here's the pitch to Goulbourne, and he gets a good block again by Pipparata. And hanging on to Goulbourne is 83 Tyler Longley, along with 53 Dan Schaefer. As the gain will be up to the 41-yard line, a gain of 6.
Little brush block by Pipparata here is going to make this a gainer.
Good block, too, there by Jason Groller. 2nd and 4. Parkland and East Stroudsburg South to follow. We had word that Saucon Valley was losing tonight, 14-3 at the half. Putting his head down is Goulbourne, and they go helmet to helmet. I think that's Longley, or is it Zuber? It's Jimmy Zuber in there, and Zuber's getting up very slowly, Dick, as I don't know what he hurt, whether he hurt his leg or he just simply got banged with helmet to helmet.
Yeah, he's right back down now. Jimmy Zuber, a great game against Liberty. 2 individual interceptions, good overall defense.
Gain of a yard, and let's take another look. This is going to be a real bang. Oh, wow. Although, Dick, it appears as if it's his leg that's bothering him, and that's a good sign. We thought that had concussion written all over it, and it might be his ankle. Here we go again.
Crash.
Oh, that left leg got really twisted around. And while we certainly hope that Jimmy is okay and he is getting up on his feet, let's talk to you about Decouz Auto Body Shop. They're in North Catasauqua. They're family owned and operated. They've been serving area residents since 1948. Decouz has 24-hour towing, free computerized estimates. Their shop has DuPont certified paint refinishers and a lifetime paint warranty policy. Frame and suspension repairs are done on all model cars, and now Decouz provides computerized alignments at their new wheel alignment center at 1418 Howardtown Road in North Catasauqua. 3rd and 3 from the 42. Big play here for both ball clubs. Carlson back, can't find his receiver, he's going down. He'll get sacked in the backfield by Paukovitz, and Harrickle leading the rush. And Easton's going to be forced to punt, so Dick, psyche number 1 belongs to Northampton.
They're going to go 2 balls, 1 receiver, but no time at all. They hit those gaps again, Gary, and they just have them surrounded, almost umbrellaed.
So Easton will have to punt it away for only the 2nd time tonight, as there was a loss of 4 on the play. And the Easton punter is Brendan Pickle. Pammer is deep and dangerous. He'll collect it at the 27-yard line, avoid 2 tacklers. Stay on his feet, and Pammer will pick up a good 8 or 9 yards on the play. Daly and Beam on the tackle. The punt, 35 yards. All right, Dick, take a look here. These guys are in perfect position to make the tackle. This guy waiting to help out. Watch what Pammer does.
Shows his speed, shows his hurdling ability a little bit, going to elude a couple tacklers, cuts it back inside, but by that time, Rover's down to support.
4 guys missed that tackle. And that's Pammer. He makes a miss from the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Back to throw, screen pass, never set up. Dick, there was nobody to throw it to.
I was wondering if that's an automatic at the line of scrimmage, somebody messed up.
Grower, Torres, and number 95 Beam. But Dick, again, if we show this on the telestrator, well, I would assume that maybe Opplinger would be the guy, but he's just not there.
Watch the filter. Now Opplinger comes back.
Nobody went out for the pass. That is a play that is frightening to Mushko as he loses 13 yards. Mushko's going to roll. And look, and fire the ball, complete.
Easton always conscious of that big play effort. That one they simply throw the underman crossing, and rather than come up and challenge, just bounce him out of bounds.
Billy Haight gained 6 on the pass. And Northampton will look at a 3rd and long as they need 17 yards from the 30.
Crow one-on-one. I don't know if he wants to go to him or not.
Mushko, there's that little shuffle pass. It'll only gain a couple at most as they dish it off to Opplinger. Forward pass is complete for 2 yards. Millen and Kuhn smelled it out. Torres with some pressure.
Good example there, Gary, of your linebackers staying home, not having the blitz. Millen in perfect position, gets support from Kuhn.
And Northampton will punt it away for the 4th time. Pammer punt. Oh, that's a good punt by Pammer. Driving Baltz all the way back to the 26-yard line. And now Baltz is going to run into Ed Crow, and Crow will put him down. 42-yard punt by Pammer.
Pammer gets off a good punt. Sure-handed Baltz back there, but unable to advance it. Both teams sort of a little chess match here, Guy. To begin the 3rd.
The fear with both these clubs, Dick, particularly with Northampton, if you let them hang around, they can come up with that one play. And Easton showed the big play capability against Northampton the last time they played. Here comes the pitch to Piperata, and Piperata is going to get run down by Pammer. And Pammer will tackle him at the 30, and that's a gain of 3.
Real good job of containment by the right side of the Northampton defense, not allowing the corner, forcing the inside where you get the support.
Good
that was
pursuit.
number 9, that was Josh Harricle. Kept him inside.
I'll tell you, Tico Johnson got hurt on that play. He may have twisted up that knee a little bit. Pretty bad when your coach gets on the injury report. 2nd and 7. It's Goulbourne. Big hole. Ovid Goulbourne. He's going to go. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Ovid Goulbourne, 70-yard touchdown.
Not only trap, Gary, but misdirection trap. You know, you almost see this one coming. Watch the initial block.
All right, Dick, as we take a look at this play, Goulbourne is going to be back in here. And watch the hole that opens up here, and as soon as he gets to this spot, he's gone.
Who is that pull? Oh, there it is. Was that Torres? It was.
6:20 on the clock, and Easton strikes quickly. Ovid's not quite that quick, however. The extra point, Pickle, that's good. 6:20, 3rd period. Easton up by 10, 23-13.
Breathing room for the Rovers. Well executed.
And let me correct that, 24-13. Goulbourne's 2nd touchdown of the night. His 9th rushing touchdown, his 14th total touchdown. And that young man, Dick, is just a junior. 12 carries, 127 yards.
And it goes to show, Guy, once again, you don't have to put the defender on his backside. Just clear the lane, and then a kid of Ovid Goulbourne's speed. I mean, he made it. That was a touchdown after the first 5 yards he ran.
The drive, easy to recap for you, 73 yards in 2 plays. Goulbourne 70 yards for the touchdown.
Said Ovid Goulbourne was not around in that first encounter, and one of the things certainly that Tico Johnson worried about.
Dick, that play had real good misdirection. It
Absolutely.
had the Northampton defense all leaning to the right, and Goulbourne came back behind them. And then it was a matter of whether or not the safety would make the tackle. When he did not, it was all over. So Northampton at one time down by 13. Now they're down by 10, or down by 14. Collected by Haight. And he'll get down at the 25-yard line. And I got to remember that 24th point. They're down by 11. Flournoy in on the tackle. 1st and 10 from the 25.
It's almost a carbon copy of first half, Gary. Northampton with a score, Easton with a comeback. Now they've opened it up to 11.
And again, the pressure on the Concrete Kid offense. They'll give it, no, they won't. It's going to be the option, the pitch back to Pammer, or check it, Opplinger. Pammer was the dive back and get maybe a yard on the play as he's tackled by Kresge, along with 33 Pizarro. Gain of 1.
Might have had an early pitch that time, Gary, because really it made the defense's job easier to play the pitch man rather than the quarterback.
John Opplinger tonight, the Easton just hasn't given him anything. 3 carries, 1 yard. This is an exact carbon copy of that first half. Dick, Northampton couldn't do anything in the first period. Now they're going to get penalized 5 yards for procedure. That'll be the 3rd penalty for 11 yards. I think Gabrilik may have been the guy who moved first.
And actually, it can take their pick on penalizing someone here. You'd move in the line, you'd move in the backfield, you move in at the wide receiver.
Morano, too, along that line of scrimmage. As Dick said, there were a whole bunch of people there illegally moving. So that brings up a 2nd and 14 from the 21. Parkland East Stroudsburg South to follow. Lafayette, Bucknell tomorrow afternoon, 12:30. And then Notre Dame and Northwestern tomorrow night. Almost intercepted by Leo Riddick. Riddick got there. Riddick, of course, did not play earlier in the season. He had a broken jaw. But he has come back and come back strong.
Riddick does a good job of defending here, right with him. In fact, edged him a little bit and took the throw ahead away from Crow.
And Northampton looking at a 3rd and 14. Clock stop, 5:16 in the 3rd period. Bushko back, fakes the flare pass and comes back and drops it off to Opplinger. And John is going to fight and get a first down. Or Pammer, I'm sorry, Pammer fights to get the first down. That is just a great run after the catch, Dick.
That's a great individual effort. You got the defender, he's going to come on a blitz, and at the same time he's going to defend. So I think Mushko changes up on receiver, just throws a little dink.
And Dick, watch how he knows where the first down yardage is.
Good effort.
Boy, that's as good an effort as you can have. A gain of 14 yards and a first down, number 6. Boy, these are 2 good football teams. From the 35, 1st and 10. With the football is Billy Haight. And Haight just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He won't do it. He'll get to about the 33, which will be a loss of a couple. Apgar and Bernie Kuhn on the tackle.
Yeah, with that fake, and you depend so much, on low portions of your body to handle the ball and fake it along the line of scrimmage. They did that so well on Pammer's long romp. But here he comes back, sort of an inside handoff to a wingman. Easton follows it well.
Ball at the 33-yard line, 2nd and 12, and they'll run out of the gun. Mushko rolls right, plenty of protection, and tried to find Eddie Crow. He had a couple of steps on 2 Easton defenders. They were Kresge, and also out there Bernie Kuhn.
Easton linebackers throwing a lot of fake blitzes here, Gary. They're backing off, and I think that sometimes destroys the blocking assignments as the ball is overthrown, the outstretched arms of Crow.
So Tico limps back after calling the play. on a 3rd and 11. Northampton converted a 3rd and long on that short pass to Pammer, which he turned into a 14-yard gain. Mushko looking, penalty flag is thrown. That's in the area of holding. I think this one's coming back if indeed Easton takes it, which they probably will not. As Mushko does not get the first down, he will pick up 8 yards. Millen is there with the tackle. But we'll hold everything.
I think you're right. That was thrown by the umpire right in the vicinity, you know, tackle to tackle. They're looking for that hold. There is a preliminary signal.
This is interesting, Dick. I think Easton is indicating they're going to take this penalty, but I don't know why you would want to give Northampton another opportunity to somehow maybe get a first down.
Well, they are taking it.
I know it puts them deep in their own territory, and I know you're looking at 3rd and real long. The hold is right there in the middle. I think it may have been Apgar who was held, number 77. So it's a 10-yard penalty from point of foul. And Northampton now has to go from their own 20 to their own 45. 3rd and 25. And there'll be no second guessing, of course, if they don't make it. It's up. Oh, my. That's a penalty flag. Oh, my. What a play. Dick, that's an automatic first down.
Took their speed, represented by Pammer. And they're simply going to run a fly pattern. Speed versus speed on defense. Going to get tangled, and they're going to get the call.
We'll keep our eye on referee Mike Sechrist.
Start him wide to begin with. He simply sprints. And right there is where the feet get messed up.
Dominic Price and Pammer get their legs all tied up. Dick, it's a 15-yard penalty, but an automatic first down.
That's the key.
And I go back to my point. Why give them the opportunity
to do that?
They would have had to just simply punt the ball away. Northampton 1st and 10 from their own 35. Here comes a penalty flag. And this is probably going to be against the kids. It is a 5-yarder. 5th penalty, 26 yards against Northampton. Dick, they're not happy unless they're 2nd and long, 3rd and long.
Well, they like the gun. You go to the gun formation in that situation.
So Mushko goes to the sideline, gets the call from Tico.
Boy, 3 of fumbles, Gary. That's impressive.
Hasn't been a turnover in the ball game. Mushko back, looking, firing. It's up in the air, and Crow almost went to get it. Good defense by Dominic Price.
Boy, Price had that measured perfectly. Didn't commit till the ball's in the air and then steps right in front of the defender. Boy, Mushko obviously thought he had his man.
He throws a nice ball, doesn't he?
Does, absolutely.
There's Steve continuing to pace. It's not easy being a head coach. It kind of tears your belly up a little bit until this ball game's over. Then you worry about the next guy. Mushko, 2nd and 15. Rolling, firing. Haight had just cleared himself from Baltz, but the pass was overthrown.
I don't know if he did a little stop and go or what, but he's going to be open. There's the pump fake. Yeah, that's what opened it. Thrown out of bounds.
It's a tough throw on the run. Mushko running for his life. So here's where Northampton has been of late, 3rd and long. Who will be the opponent of the victor tonight? Parkland or East Stroudsburg South? Check that one out at 9:30. Mushko Pretty good protection. Now he's trying to find somebody to throw to. He can't. As coming in to make that hit is Zach Pizarro.
That's it. He looks the way he tackles. He just extends his body, dives, nice low tackle, took Mushko's pins out from under him.
Loss of 7. We're going to take a look at this play. He's going to roll all the way over here, and Dick will stop it right here. And watch out right there as that protection just can't hold that long. Mushko just looking, and stop it again because there's just nobody down here for him to throw the ball to. So Northampton punts it away, and Palmer's punt will go out of bounds at the Easton 42-yard line, and that's a 28-yard punt.
In spite of that Northampton possession, which was more than 3 and out that time, able to still come up with pretty good field position beyond their own 40.
Dick, in the first ball game, Easton got up 35-13 going into the fourth quarter, and they came back and got to within 7, did the kids.
And you can bet that's lingering in a lot of Rover minds.
Pipparata, the ball carrier, he'll get 3 to the 45. Tackled on the play by Kresley. Easton now with 198 yards rushing.
And if they have any time to think down there, they'll wait even a little bit more, Gary, because they've already given up beyond their defensive average of 10.4.
Offensively, they get 28. Northampton gets 28, but they give up 18 and a half. 2nd and 7. Pipparata. I think they're going to get a heavy dose of Pipparata. He picks up 4 more. 3rd and 3. Tackle by Palkovitz.
Obviously, the linemen set up the backs with their blocking, but many times I think Easton can be credited. Their backs hit that line of scrimmage so quickly that it gives the chance for a short block, actually, and all they need is a split second from their linemen to get through. Good example right there.
Pipparata, 7 100-yard games this year. He had 4 last year, so 11 in his career. The record is 9 in a season. As he'll get the ball here, and he'll have a first down. As Pipparata will rumble forward to about the 46, which will be a gain of 5 or 6, depending on where they mark it. We'll give him 5. Longley and Palmer on the tackle.
I tell you, Goulburn and Pipparata don't linger in that backfield. They hit that hole in a split second. You know, it favors a lineman. You don't have to hold your block as long.
Pip now with 86 yards rushing, so he's moving towards that 8th 100-yard rushing game in the season. He had 195 against Northampton earlier. Back to throw. Carlson, he's going down, and this will be a big play. 52, Dan Palkovitz is there along with 25, Rick Kresley. First one to get there. And a Northampton player getting up slowly. Not getting up.
Just took too long to develop, Gary.
It's Palkovitz who's down. The loss back to the Easton 46 is a loss of 8.
Flanker fake, and by that time, Northampton just comes right through.
And a timeout down on the field. Danny Palkovitz, we have called his name time and time again tonight. And it looks like he hurt that right wrist.
205-pound linebacker veteran.
Okay there, he may have, oh no, that's where he looked like he got hurt there as he was trying to drag Carlson down. Take a look at the Northampton crowd. They have filled up their side of the stands. Easton has filled up their side of the stands. And we hope that we've filled up a whole bunch of living rooms in the Lehigh Valley. As a nice round of applause for Dan Palkovitz by the Northampton contingent.
Easton off this timeout, Gary, has a time to think about their next 2 plays. You know, what do you want to do here, winding down to the end of the quarter? Wind, a little bit of a factor, but really not much. If you want to try something big, you know, you just want to hold out to the end of the quarter and then punt.
And I would think being up by 11 has a lot to do with that decision. You would think they might not want to do anything risky. Of course, for them, if you give it to Goulbourne or Piperata, there's nothing risky at all. Piperata has it. He bounces off 3 tacklers and still doesn't manage to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard on the play, as I saw Kresley over there again, along with number 80, Ed Crow.
Again, a very long developing play. Faked the handoff on the second reverse. He keeps it.
That's a loss of 2. So now they're looking at 3rd and 21. Final play, perhaps, of the 3rd period. Carlson back, looking for Baltz. Oh, what a great catch. Great throw, great catch. Perfectly covered by Haight. And yet Baltz is right there to have the ball drop right into his hands. 29-yard line, 27-yard pass play.
So many times you hear it. You lay it out, and I'll run under it. And that's exactly what happened there. Third element that makes it even nicer, Gary, he doesn't have much sideline to work with there either. Great play, great pattern, great catch.
Wow, what a perfect throw by Luke Carlson. 27-yard pickup to Josh Baltz. Little mix-up in the backfield. Goulbourne has it. He'll get positive yardage. Tackle on the play by Pammer, as he'll get to the 28, gain of a yard.
Carlson not mentioned very often in the upper echelons of quarterbacks in the Lehigh Valley, but so heady and certainly in charge of this team.
Speaking of quarterbacks, we'll come back for the 4th quarter. It is Easton, 24, Northampton, 13. You're watching District 11 football on RCN 4 Sports. As we come back, the Red Rovers pitch the ball to Ovid Goulbourne. He's tackled by Dan Schaefer, but not before Goulbourne goes all the way down to the 11-yard line, make it to 12. That's a gain of 16, and now Dick will show it to you.
Simple pitch. Cuts it inside, now outside. Utilize a little bit of his speed and drags the defender.
And Dick, you would think that this would be a District 11 championship drive for Easton. If they can put one on the board here, they should be headed towards a District 11 championship game next Friday night. Piperata, the ball carrier. Harrickle and Zuber make the tackle. Pip gets inside the 5-yard line to the 4. That's a gain of 8.
Well, I know that bunny's an energizer, Gary, but you talk about an energizer. That pass by Carlson simply generated offense galore by these running backs.
And that was on 3rd and 21. He got 27. Northampton with a blitz, and they hit Piperata right at the line of scrimmage. Harrickle and also Pammer. No gain.
Yeah, Northampton comes with a very, very good blitz that time. And a lot of times on a blitz, you simply play the hot runner.